It's Operation Babble with Myke Shrews. It's pop culture, music, movies, TV too. It's time to explore life. It's Operation Babble time.
Welcome back, everybody, to Operation Babble, episode 139. I am Myke Shrews here with my co-host Tivis. Tivis, how you doing today, dude?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, awesome, man. So I heard that you got to finally watch something this week.
Yeah.
After what, 2 weeks, I think? Of waiting?
Just a week.
Just a week?
But yeah. Well, 9 days. 10 if you count Thursday.
Yeah.
I still count Friday as opening night.
So
But,
we a previous episode we talked about when we talked about Dr. Mordred, we talked about, giving everybody about a week. So I think we're decent enough to do spoilers for this new film here that hopefully everybody has seen.
Oh yeah. Actually, there was a lot of websites this time. They must have really got some flack for the last movie because I saw a post on Sunday from Nerdist like, hey, just so you know, tomorrow we're going full out spoilers on this movie. So if you want to hide us. And I'm like, I appreciate that, Nerdist. Thank you, because you're one of the worst offenders.
Right. And there was so many companies that I saw that it felt like they were breaking the embargo with the spoilers they were giving before the movie even dropped. Because I saw stuff coming out the Tuesday before, with
because it came out early in a country overseas, and somebody took a video of portion of the film.
Yeah. So people were getting spoilers before it even fucking came out, which is ridiculous. And I think I discussed that on the last episode because it was like a couple of days before the movie came out. So we keep talking about, but what fucking movie are we going to talk about today, Tivis?
Well, I mean, as everyone made fun of me for, we were on the road to something, and then it arrived last episode, and now we're finally going to talk about it. It is the Multiverse of Madness.
Awesome. And before we dive into that, real quick, everybody, do the dirty work. You can find Operation Babble on all the social media outlets at Operation Babble. That's Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And you can also join our Facebook group, Operation Babble Facebook group. All the links are going to be in your description below or wherever you read the description on any podcast service there. And then you can also email us if you would like to be on the podcast, have any inquiries, or just want to discuss anything with us. You can email us at operationbabble@outlook.com. And anything else? I think that's about it. Oh, we are also on YouTube as well at the Myke Shrews YouTube channel. That link is also in the description. So, All right, that's all the dirty crap. Let's get into this because this is I'm gonna, before we dive into it, I should say, do you have anything you want to discuss before we dive into this movie?
I mean, Moon Knight also wrapped up, but I figure we could get into that if we got time later.
Okay, sounds good, because there's zero connection to the MCU with that show.
She-Hulk has a trailer that just dropped yesterday. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I'm excited for that.
I have seen a lot of people criticize the graphics in it already.
People have been criticizing every one of these and not even these shows, but basically every fucking TV show for the last decade, especially if it's a sci-fi. Like, that looks like cheap ass graphics. It's a fucking TV show. Get over it. Go watch a movie.
I think their thing is it's supposed to go into the movies possibly. So if they don't change it up, when will they change it up? But I think
when she appears in a movie.
Yeah. But they even downgraded Hulk when they made him Professor Hulk. So he doesn't look as cool.
Yeah, it's just
so I just hope that this show answers our question of what the fuck was up with Bruce Banner in Shang-Chi. Because he was in human form with his busted arm still. So I'm like, where was that time-wise? We need a timeline, Feige.
This Another criticism I've heard, especially after this film, is that it seems like this phase is aimless. Like they don't have an end goal in mind. You know what? They probably don't right now because this phase 4 is just rebuilding after the Thanos, saga.
So that was one of the things I was actually going to bring up too. Was what I've been noticing with all the new shit that's coming out.
Yeah.
It feels like they're going in. They have 4 different storylines that they're creating all at once. Honestly, which will end into like 4 big movies or possibly one big one with Kang. So who knows?
Yeah, I have no doubt we're gonna get some kind of giant resolution with Kang, and he's gonna be the next big bad for now. But the next Thanos level threat, I don't think we're gonna see until we get Fantastic Four. Because once Doom comes out, all bets are off.
yeah. Well, I think they're also setting up
him. That's
I think they're also setting up for Galactus, and because they're doing a lot more.
Even still, I love Galactus, but he does not compare to Doom.
And then I'm curious who they're gonna have doing like running their dark storyline, like who's gonna be the big bad villain for that, because we're getting like we have characters like Moon Knight, we have characters like Dark Knight was introduced in the Eternals, Blade or Black Knight. Yeah, sorry, I said Dark Knight.
That's Batman.
Yeah. And then you have Blade coming up and stuff like that. So we'll see what they do with some of these storylines. Like I said, I really feel they're going in 4 different main directions, and they're not going to do one giant combined story like we're used to. So a lot of people are going to think it's worse and I'm kind of on the same boat. Like I just wish that there was one storyline to follow, because they spread it out. We have 4 storylines breaking off into 4 different ways on it feels like, anyways. And the way it's going, it's like I have to wait a year just to get the resolution to one part of one story. So it's like,
well, who knows? We'll get into it, but who knows when we're going to get to the resolution of this, what comes after this film.
Yeah. So, all right. Anything else happen Marvel related, I guess, in news? I know we had another cancellation with CW. They canceled Naomi since we last discussed.
Which is a shame, because I got to like the 3rd episode of that show finally, now that I'm able to enjoy shit again. And it's actually pretty interesting. That's
the newest one, right? That it only had one season.
Yeah, and it didn't connect heavily to the other shows, even though it was under that umbrella of Arrowverse, kind of like Stargirl is, and Superman and Lois. Even though they're using the same actors in that show, it's not connected very well at all. And that's fine. It's whatever.
Stargirl is like known to be in another universe, though.
Yeah, it's just a shame that they'll never get to go into meet the main cast.
You're right.
It's
unless
whatever.
It's like what happens in the last episode of Flash. He just finally gets to meet someone because he's the only one left now.
Yeah, we've had 2 crossovers with Black Lightning even.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I do want to stir the pot just by saying, how come the CW has only canceled all the shows with LGBT leads? Just going to say that and let people ponder that and attack the CW for that one.
You just want to get Legends back.
Yes, I do. But no, it's kind of ridiculous. Like those literally are the only shows that got canceled.
Yeah, it's true.
With gay leads and stuff. So I'm just like, wait, what? For how progressive the CW has been, and how much they, I know everybody says it's because of Discovery. I get that. So maybe someone in Discovery just hates LGBT people. There we go. We'll start that rumor.
Someone clearly wants to leave their mark with this reshuffling of DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I am peaking. I realize that. So I'm going to turn my volume down a little bit.
I can't hear anything. So.
There we go. All right. So let's dive in then to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, shall we?
Yeah, I'm sad. I tried looking before we started the show for my Shuma Gorath figure.
Okay.
Because it's real awesome. It's got like a moving eye in the center. But I don't know what box it's in, and I ran out of time. So but I'm just glad we actually got to see its form, even though they can't legally call it that in this film, because it's one of my favorite Marvel like designs, even though it came from Conan books.
Let's also say too, real quick, just in case people didn't hear, we are spoiling this movie, just so we're clear.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So it's like I know they had to change the name to Gargantos, which is another Marvel creature. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm just happy to get the design.
Yeah. Because I thought it was really cool.
He looks awesome.
Yeah. Did you? Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Like, the movie just starts out. We're not going to go through this beat by beat, but I just want to dive into certain points.
Oh yeah, we'll hit the parts we like and have problems with and stuff, like we do with Spider-Man.
Right. So the movie kind of like just starts out, and the way the movie starts out sets the pacing kind of for the rest of the film.
Yeah, we get our first variant with Defender Strange.
Yeah. And that was really cool, actually.
Yeah, it was.
See him like right away. And but the pacing with this film, it literally reminded me like they were trying to make a Star Wars movie. Like the way that they go
dump us right in the middle of it.
Dump you right into the middle of it, and then they're jumping from different things to different things. The way that they're doing it reminded me of a Star Wars film, or kind of how they did like Infinity War, because Infinity War reminded me of Star Wars editing, anyways.
Yeah, especially if you didn't see Thor. Before we get too deep into this, I want to say this movie took my expectations of what was gonna happen. Mm-hmm. Crumpled them up, threw them out the window, and gave me something just as good or even better. And I'm honestly shocked.
I have very mixed feelings about this because, like you said, everyone's expectations for this film were a lot higher than what they gave us, I guess.
I don't think I feel like it met my expectations and or exceeded them. It just didn't go in the direction I thought it was.
Right. That I think that's the biggest thing too, watching this film. Like I feel like we all thought this was going to be a massive event film, kind of like an Endgame or something like that.
It was surprisingly down to earth.
Yeah, it was a lot
more
Earth's universes. I will be honest in saying I was disappointed. But I have reasons for it. But also, I have, like I said, I have mixed emotions on this because I didn't like it, but then I also did like certain aspects of it as a Marvel fan. But as far as certain ways they treated certain characters, things like that, I didn't really like it, and I felt they wasted some time with some stuff that was unneeded. So do you want to start, or do you want me to just like bitch about the things I didn't like or that I found stupid?
I mean, if you want to go into the things you didn't like first, that's fine. I only have one thing, so
okay. I didn't like that Wanda was the main fucking villain, flat out. They made it. I understand they were diving in on her, like the whole kid thing. Not once did she mention trying to get Vision back or finding a universe where Vision was.
Well, okay, yeah, that last part's true. Well, an interesting thing about this is they weren't finished with WandaVision by this point.
Yeah. Like
those scenes with the kids in the house, they were clearly filmed during WandaVision. But Elizabeth Olsen said she literally had 3 days after finishing that show to get on a plane and go start filming this one.
Yeah.
And because it wasn't finished, Sam Raimi didn't get to see the finished product, so he doesn't know the whole story. They just gave him the big beats, so that's why there's a little bit of disconnect. But
You would still know that Vision is dead, though, because even at the end of WandaVision, she doesn't know White Vision is alive.
Yes, that's true. But maybe she assumes if the kids are there, he's there too. But I mean, my wife loved this aspect. She's a big Wanda fan. And she's also got extremely strong maternal instincts already. So she actually left this movie saying this is the first one she's enjoyed in a long time, probably since Infinity War. This is her second favorite film. And I'm shocked because we both didn't like the first Doctor Strange that much. But I'm actually glad, Wanda, because a lot of people were complaining about the end of her show. Like, she got redeemed too quick. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. And this felt like a natural progression for me, especially seeing that end credit scene from WandaVision with her flipping through the book. Because this book corrupts. Like, we have seen it in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've seen it in Runaways. I know you haven't seen it yet. But no one who touches this book gets out unscarred.
Yeah, I was just like, the whole basis of it, though, like, why not, I was talking to my wife about this last night, I think, or bitching about it maybe. I was just like, why not help Doctor Strange teach this chick how to use her powers? And you can find a universe where everybody that you love, not just your kids that were fake in the first place, are still alive. You can find your brother, Vision, your kids, a universe where there is no pain and suffering. And
maybe you still got Boner as a neighbor,
right? Like, you could have done that. Or you are fucking the Scarlet Witch. You literally could have just said, hey, I want kids, and they would have appeared. Just like,
I feel like if that would have worked, that would have happened. Well, in the comics, she stole kids from someone else.
Well, but I'm talking like in the comics, how she was like, no more mutants, and they all just disappear. Like, she could have literally
they still exist, they just lost their powers.
Well, I'm that's what I mean. Like, the mutant gene disappeared. So if she could do that in the entire universe, I'm pretty sure she could have just been like, give me 2 kids and spoke them into existence.
Even when she did that in the comics, though, she stole them from 2 other people. So she didn't create them out of nothing. She just...
Yeah. Maybe. Why didn't she just find the universe where there wasn't another Wanda? And she could have just taken those kids.
Because her tragic story is every other Wanda's happy, apparently.
What about Paint Wanda?
That universe looks like it would suck to live in. She's clearly gone insane from this book, and they really show that. Even like later in the film, we see real Wanda trapped in the rubble of her house and her mind.
Well, no, that wasn't real Wanda. That was Wanda from that Earth.
No.
Yeah, that was Wanda from that Earth, and he was trying to free her.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
mold would break on her. Because that was just the Scarlet Witch having the dream, whatever. What did they call it? The
dream walking.
Walking, which isn't that what they did in Generation X?
Maybe, yeah.
Does anyone remember us talking about Generation X?
You remember it? That was a trip of a
when they all became Dream Warriors to try and fight the fake Freddy.
the knockoff Jim Carrey. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I misinterpreted that scene. I'll admit that, but still, I feel like it's similar problem going on in her head with this damn book. Because
I would say yes and no, because the book just kind of
amplifies
what's already going on. And we already saw from WandaVision, she already has a lot of issues going on.
Oh, she's so fucked. Like, even with the one scene where she mentions Vision, it's like, good God, she's had it rough.
Yeah. And clearly she knows that. I'm just curious how everybody knows how the events of Infinity War went down when they weren't even there, because she wasn't there when Doctor Strange handed Thanos the stone. So who told her?
Word of mouth. It probably got around. You know how these things are.
Oh, the only two people in the 5 years that were there were Tony and
who is a talker.
yeah, maybe. Oh,
You
yes. Actually, in Endgame, he did say that, and then Doctor or Bruce Banner knew too that he gave the stone. That's right. Okay, that makes a little more sense then.
Yeah, you don't think he bitched to everyone?
Oh yeah, like a fucking wizard gave my damn jewel away. Or gave the jewel away.
I got trapped in space. I thought I was gonna starve to death.
I did like. I did and didn't like how they were trying to say every Doctor Strange is like the same. You know,
yeah, they're all assholes.
They're all just dicks and stuff. I didn't like that aspect of it, because it's like, well, that leaves nothing open for future Doctor Stranges then to show up and not be a dickhead, you know. And granted, in the comics, he's a dickhead.
Oh, he's such a dickhead.
And it did feel in this movie they were kind of trying to make him a little bit more like Tony Stark than ever. So
I'm glad they squashed that romance, because I mean that actress, blanking on her name, I'm gonna call her Regina so bad.
Mean Girls reference.
Yeah.
There you go.
My wife. I still remember every time, both movies now, when she comes out, she's like, Mean Girls, her favorite movie.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we're getting away from that. And the fact that they established, like, hey, you may love her, but it's never going to work. So
yeah,
find love in other places. That was a great resolution for him.
Yeah.
Towards the end, especially with him and Wong talking, are you happy?
It did get a little weird, I will say, because you're talking about Christine.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So when he goes into this other universe and meets the Christine there, he like kind of so this is the thing I have an issue with this one too, is the way he tries to interact, and everybody interacts with everyone that's from a different universe, is they're automatically assuming they're exactly like the person from their universe, which they disproved with that Doctor Strange and their Doctor Strange. But if that's the case, it's like I didn't find there to be any romantic connection between our Strange and their Christine, you know, like they tried to push in the movie. I was just like, this is weird, because they're not the same person.
No, I feel like it was more, this is our opportunity to get this off our chest, but then it's like a resolution rather than the start of a romance,
because their feelings are towards two different other humans. So anything they have on their chest based on those things, it's basically just a body then that they're talking to. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the Christine in his world
it's basically a therapy session for both of them.
That's stupid. Let's just say it's stupid.
I don't think it's stupid.
I thought it was dumb, and it was creepy and weird.
I don't think, how is it creepy? I don't understand.
It is. It's just is.
I don't think so.
It's like, okay, so if your wife goes into another universe and bangs your doppelganger there,
they didn't bang though.
Yeah, but they almost did. Look at
they didn't
in the dark universe. Come on now.
I had no that wasn't about to happen.
She was literally like, oh, I'd love to come back and see your universe, like getting all googly eyed for him by the time they split up.
Well, yeah, but then they both said, we know that can't happen.
Whatever. Actually, they said they know it can't happen. And then she said, but I'd really love to see that incursion. So she was like willing to risk 2 universes just to get some Dr.
I don't
Strange.
think if she was willing to do that, then it would have happened.
It was in her mind. That's in between her legs.
But also, if I'm dead, I don't care. I'm dead.
Okay. Still not the same. So
I mean,
also-
kind of. Her Doctor Strange is dead. Illuminati Doctor Strange is dead.
I guess.
He got exploded with a word. 2 words.
I'm sorry. Which was awesome. I really loved that scene because we finally got to see Black Bolt.
Blackagar Boltagon.
Yeah. Actually
Played by the same actor.
Yep. Anson Mount.
Also Captain Pike.
Yep.
Get your Star Trek reference in there.
Trust me, he's doing better on Star Trek than he did in that.
Oh, I've heard
show.
people are they're like, I want to see more of Black Bolt, but also I don't want him to leave this show.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to see more Black Bolt as long as he's that version, besides the skull being
I have to
blown up.
say, costume dumb.
But
it looks dumb.
Comic accurate. That's the thing.
That doesn't mean it's going to look good.
Yeah.
We've established this before.
And maybe that was kind of Marvel's point, was like, look at this. This is what
I feel like it was Feige's point to kill him quickly and brutally. I haven't got that scene out of my head.
it was a oh shit moment for sure in every theater, I bet. Because that was a gruesome one.
Honestly, I feel like that was the most brutal out of everyone.
No, Mr. Fantastic definitely got a more brutal. He got like literally split into pieces before his head popped.
Yeah, but it's also Mr. Fantastic.
He was put in through a paper shredder.
Look,
it looked like Tivis. Come on, that was more painful than just blowing your head up.
Reed Richards is an asshole in every universe. I'm glad they have John Krasinski show up. A fan casting, I might add. I would love for him to be in the final film because Reed Richards is insufferable, but John Krasinski makes him likable.
Yeah. Oh, after they put him in this movie, if they don't put him in Fantastic Four, there's going to be riots.
I'm hearing mixed reviews. A lot of people don't want him. My wife doesn't want him.
I don't know. I don't really care. That was never like a fan pick for me. For Mr.
I'm shocked they did it. He looked so good in the role.
Yeah.
And I thought he did a good job.
And clearly he was playing a more aged Mr. Fantastic too, because he already had his kids.
Mm-hmm.
So
don't even get me started on Franklin. Yeah, you want to talk about Wanda's world shaping powers? That doesn't hold a candle to Franklin's freaky ass powers.
So all right, so let's go back to his death real quick, or to their confrontation there. Or wait, let's backtrack a little bit.
Where do you want to go?
Let's go to finding out America Chavez's power within like
Can I just say I didn't expect her in this movie at all?
Really?
No.
She was like a major, wasn't she in the trailer?
I don't think so.
Well, her action figure was everywhere.
That's why I don't pay attention to the toys.
I thought that was like a big thing that she was going to be. Yeah. They even did articles because people were attacking about her, like the gay scene and stuff like that in this movie.
I knew there was a gay scene, but I didn't know who it was for. I avoided everything, dude. I had no idea she was in this movie.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. It took my expectations and threw them. I thought this was going to be a sequel of the Spider-Man movie. I didn't expect another multiverse traveler.
Well, she was supposed to be in the Spider-Man movie, but they had to change shit. So, and I think them keeping her as Spider-Man and the whatever changes they did to Spider-Man were a lot better than probably what they were going to give us, honestly.
Oh yeah, this worked out. So the production of this film was so troubled between COVID, the director changing, the rewrites.
The director changed on this one?
Yeah, Sam Raimi wasn't originally going to direct it. Remember, it was it was someone else who wanted to go like heavy horror, and Marvel was like, Scott Derrickson.
Okay, yeah, because this was rumored to originally have been a rated R, is what they wanted it or was originally going to be. And even when you get Sam Raimi, I'm like, well, you could do rated R easy with him too. I think
They got real close to the line.
you got really close to it. I think there's a lot of instances in this film where you can see Sam Raimi's direction, like his vision of it. No pun intended, but like his vision of this film, like where, especially when they're in the not the sanctum, but the Cosmo whatever fucking temple thing is for all the monks and stuff. I forget the name of it.
Shit. I'll look it up here. Keep going.
But when they're there, that's when you really see like a lot of his camera angles, like her coming out of the drum piece, and she's like coming out all like Ring style, like all crooked and shit like that.
It's Camartage.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But in that area there, you really got to see it. Like he even did this really his like twist camera movement and stuff like that. And you don't.
Think about how the movie started. It was an homage to Spider-Man 2. It was a superhero fighting octopus on the side of a building.
Yeah. There was a lot of things like that. Spider-Man 2 is also a really good film, guys. Go watch it.
Yeah, it is.
The original Spider-Man 2. And that one too, that was the first Spider-Man one where you really saw Sam Raimi come out too. When they were doing the surgery on Doc Ock, and they have the murder scene when the tentacles are just killing everybody. That was a real Sam Raimi scene. I love that one. Anyways, we're talking about Doctor Strange. It's hard to not talk about his other works though when you talk about this movie, because you see a lot of it in there.
Yeah. Oh my god, we'll get into more as we go. But talking about the rewrites real quick, Sam Raimi revealed that after it was rewritten and reshot, about half an hour of footage was removed.
That seems about right.
And with that, there's actually some rumored characters that haven't been confirmed, but
right. I'm curious about these because it is rumored. And
have you heard about them yet?
I have not.
Well, I got 4 here.
Okay.
That were allegedly filmed and removed.
Allegedly.
We'll see if that's true or not when the DVD comes out with the deleted scenes.
Or maybe they're holding them off for another movie.
Well, I mean, even still, I feel like the deleted scenes will. Because if they're already filmed, because we saw Captain America in Hulk, even though that's not how that worked at all.
Did we?
Yeah, in the deleted scene.
In Hulk?
Where he goes to I forget where he's at. He's somewhere cold. He goes to try to shoot himself, and he turns into the Hulk and breaks the ice, and you see Captain America's body in one of the ice that breaks off.
What fucking scene was that? I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's a deleted scene on the DVD, dude.
From the
Incredible Hulk 2008.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen. I gotta pull out my DVD again or my Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, it's a real cool scene.
Is it on the Blu-ray or is it on like a redone one? Because
I have the DVD, so it's on that one.
I'll have to check that out. I've never seen that scene.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm sure it's on YouTube as well.
Because I remember like they did the scene with Tony at the end, which made it into the cut.
Yeah,
but I didn't know about the Captain America one. Okay.
Oh yeah. But the alleged characters, and I don't want to spend too much time on this because we don't know if it's true or not. But apparently, Michael Fassbender did appear as Magneto.
Okay.
Boulder the Brave was going to appear somewhere. Ghost Rider was going to be part of the Illuminati.
Did they have them cast or?
I didn't hear who it was other than Magneto.
If they would have had Ghost Rider in the Illuminati, one, that's not comic accurate. But two, if you did that, Nicolas Cage had to be him, right? Like,
I would think so, but also I'd also take the one that we almost got as a Hulu show because he's fucking awesome. Yeah. And then finally, Deadpool was going to be in one of the post credits.
No, that I could believe.
Yeah.
I could believe that more than any of the others, honestly.
But yeah, again, until someone confirms this from Marvel, I'm just taking this as rumor.
Because that just seems like a lot of the rumors that were going around that us, the fans, built up. Like, oh my God, wouldn't it be awesome if we had this scene and this scene and this guy and this?
Yeah, this,
and I think that's the detriment to this film.
Yeah,
how much us fans were like, this is going to be a massive thing of like, you're gonna have fucking Wesley Snipes' Blade and Ben.
I never said that.
Daredevil and shit like. No, I'm just saying in general, like. These are what people were saying was going to be in this film, or like, you know, Elektra was going to be in this from the Daredevil one.
I never expected her either. That was a bad movie.
What's her name? I don't remember.
I'll look it up real quick. You keep ranting.
But I think that's one of the biggest detriments to this film was our expectations going into it. Now, granted, Jennifer Garner, yeah. Now, that doesn't mean, which she also was in 13 Going on 30 and The Adam Project with Bruce Banner. Mark Ruffalo, sorry.
The Adam Project?
Yeah. She's the husband, or he's the husband, and she's the wife.
Isn't that Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah. Did you
Why'd you say Mark Ruffalo?
Project? Did you not watch The Adam Project?
I watched half of it. I still haven't gone back.
Oh, he's the dad that died.
Oh, okay.
Mark Ruffalo is, yeah.
Okay, that's why I didn't get that far. I'm like, are you talking about Ryan Reynolds?
I thought that he was doing the press for it, so I knew he was in it before they even did the movie.
See, I don't pay attention to that stuff.
But yeah, so biggest detriment was our minds thinking that this was going to be a bigger thing. Also, I want to say, hey, Marvel, I want my money back. False advertising. You said Multiverse of Madness. We were only in like 3 universes, and there was no madness. It was just
there was a little bit of madness in 2 characters.
Nope. This was just a Mother's Day film with some action in it. That's all.
Sinister Strange went insane.
Did he though? He really did.
Yeah, he was insane.
He really didn't go insane though, like that we saw on screen. Like I would take a whole show of him dream walking into other strangers and walking them off.
I will say, okay, first of all, screw you for not having Strange Supreme in this film like you made us believe.
Didn't they?
That's not the same character at all. Sinister Strange and Strange Supreme are 2 different characters. So what if?
What if? Yeah. No, dude. Okay, so they said watch What If. Fuck you. You don't even need What If for this. Like,
no. Although there was a similar scene when they were traveling through the multiverse, and the imagery kept changing. I liked how they went to the cartoon.
When they went to the cartoon world, though, it would have been cool if that cartoon world was one of the What If universes, and they just flew right by it.
Yeah, that would have been,
or like X-Men 90, whatever. Because
that's what I was about to say.
You know,
one of the established cartoons like the 90s, since that's coming back too.
Right. It would have been a perfect way for them to remind people to promote it as well, and then be like, hey, this show is in the multiverse, so it's actually canon to everything.
Yeah. I mean, for all we know, the world they end up on turns out to be the 90s X-Men with Charles Xavier there in the iconic golden wheelchair.
It doesn't. You want to know why? And this is why, like, I people have said that they were like, oh, this must be the X-Men, cartoon.
That doesn't mean it has to be, but I'm saying it could be.
Right. Well, my thing is, if you remember that X-Men cartoon, Charles Xavier was an asshole there. This is not the same.
Charles Xavier is an asshole in most universes. I don't think Patrick Stewart has it in him. Other than Picard,
that doesn't do him as an asshole.
I think the only time I've ever seen him as an asshole is Picard.
Who, Patrick Stewart?
Yeah, he's an asshole of a captain.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
you're the boss. You got to do something, right? You know. All the other times they kind of they took Professor Xavier in the X-Men movies and turned him just like they did John Hammond in Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
Because
they
in the
did.
books of Jurassic Park, he's an ass.
That dude's a dick. He was willing to sacrifice his grandchildren.
But yes, you were saying we had Patrick Stewart returned as Xavier.
One of the worst kept secrets of the film.
I think that's why they put him in the trailer, the voice. But they did good because they didn't reveal him, because then we get to see the iconic
the terrible ass wheelchair, which doesn't work in live action, but it was cool to see.
Oh, he said he was scared driving that because he had to drive it next to stairs.
It kind of looked like it in the movie.
He said that he had to drive it like right next to like a stair area, and he was like, I don't know if thing's gonna stop or not. And how fucking bad would that be for Sam Raimi to know you're the one whose set Patrick Stewart died on because you guys were dumbasses?
Yeah, I kind of feel like that one falls back on Feige more than Sam, but yeah.
Or the prop department.
Oh God, yeah.
That thing looked horrible, but also it made me want them to do a MODOK now. Because I saw that. Just reuse that for MODOK. Like,
that's another cancellation. Rest in peace, Hulu MODOK. Your show was great while it lasted.
I didn't even get a chance to watch it yet, man.
I mean, just watch it. It's not gone. It's just canceled.
That's what I mean. I'm like, it canceled, but I didn't even watch it.
I mean, everyone kind of expected it because it was made under the old TV umbrella.
Yeah.
Which Feige hated because Ike Perlmutter is an asshole. But going back to the movie, Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
How did you like them giving his psychic power instead of him just putting my finger to my temple? He's
actually
getting
showing the beat of it.
Yeah, like they do in the 90s cartoon.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. We actually got to see something where they actually used some kind of effect in an effect. So that was awesome to see, along with the yellow chair, because for the cartoon people,
his death was pretty traumatic too. It was quick and like damn.
So I have kind of an issue with that a little bit, but then I don't at the same time. And also, Charles Xavier needs to stop fucking with women's minds, because didn't he learn from the Phoenix? Come on. Like, he should just stay out of their minds like all the time. But so when it happened the first time I saw this, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, you just killed Professor Xavier just like that. Like, one of the most powerful, like, what do you call them? Mutants or telekinesis people, or whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Telepathic.
Yeah.
Telekinesis is moving stuff.
Well, she does that too, doesn't he?
No, that's Jean Grey. He doesn't have that power.
Yeah. So they kill him just like by breaking his neck in his mind, which breaks his neck there. And I was just like, man, like it made me mad kind of a little bit the first time I saw this, because I was like, dude, I watched Logan and they gave him a great send-off, and then you bring Patrick Stewart back just to shit on them like this. Like,
I think he said something. Patrick Stewart said something about he'd come back as Charles again if it meant they killed him.
So that kind of sucked. But then, after you watch it a couple more times or so, it starts to grow on you, like, okay, I get it, because they're trying to tell you this universe means nothing. We're never coming back here.
Oh yeah, they definitely don't care about this universe.
And the only one who survives in the Illuminati that's there,
Baron Mordo,
is Baron Mordo. What was his middle name? Baron.
I don't know his middle name, but his first name is Carl.
Oh yeah, Carl Baron Mordo is what it was. He's like, Carl. Yeah, they really sold you a different movie in the trailer. I will tell you that right now. 100%.
Oh yeah, they did.
Even the voiceover stuff, like, every time I go to sleep and then I wake up and the nightmare begins. That's literally Wanda's line, but they had Cumberbatch say it for the trailer. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I know Marvel is known to put in scenes in the trailers and stuff like that, but this was a whole different movie in the trailer than what we saw. Period.
Oh yeah.
And now I kind of want the movie we were promised.
I'm happy with what we got.
Well, I would like both. Give me a multiverse scene, Multiverse of Madness. These movies can keep coming out.
I mean, we kind of got that with the What If show, though.
Did we though?
Yeah, it was across the multiverse.
I was under the assumption this was going to be because he fucked with Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm glad. I'm okay with a little mystery. Was it? Going back to when Wanda killed Xavier, dude, she's terrifying in that scene. She's a full like demonic look. She honestly reminded me of the zombie from What If.
She looks just like Carrie, dude. Like Carrie goes on her killing spree.
Do you want to go over the rest of the Illuminati before we get to that?
Sure.
There's only like 2 members left.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm surprised I haven't seen this online yet.
Mm-hmm.
They killed the dudes off like stupid fast and then let the girls have their girl fight. I'm surprised there's not a select group of people out there bitching about that right now.
If they are, they're stupid because there's a valid reason for it.
Oh, there's a valid reason, 100%. Because you kill off your 2 most powerful people instantly.
Yeah.
Why wait? Why try and fight them? Because if she wouldn't have killed them off right away, Black Bolt would have killed her instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Although, if you kill Wanda while she's dreamwalking, you're killing an innocent person, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And I'm curious what happens with
that poor Wanda.
What happens with that Wanda when like the Fantastic Four and the mutants and all these other groups like the Inhumans come knocking on her door? Like what are they gonna, well, hopefully Baron Mordo and Christine in their universe tell everybody what happened, because now you have to explain why like 4 of your like great heroes are just dead.
Yeah.
And all your Ultron bots are destroyed. I did like that part though, because it was very.
Oh, it's the they brought back the guy who voiced Ultron in the What If show too. Yeah. Because he was originally going to be I always forget his name. The moon god in Moon Knight. That was he had the role, and then they recast Khonshu. Thank you.
Yeah, he did that. He was also the guy who replaced for Red Skull in
I forgot about that one. Yeah, in Endgame or Infinity War.
No, it
is Endgame. Yeah.
Or actually, it's both, isn't it? Is it both?
Yeah, it might be both, because didn't Thanos see him as well?
Both, yeah. So yeah, let's dive into these other 2 deaths then.
We had Captain Marvel, the original Captain Marvel.
Yep.
Maria Rambeau. Yeah. Who people might remember as the little girl from Captain Marvel, or what's her? I forget. I don't think she had a code name anyway, but she was in WandaVision and got powers.
That's her daughter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, her name is just. I thought it's just Captain Marvel too in the comics.
Well, she's Captain Marvel for a bit, but then she becomes like Polaris or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, so we get her as Captain Marvel.
And then Captain Carter come to life.
Which was awesome. Again,
from the What If
fan thing. And
no people think this is the same one as What If. No confirmation. Could just be another.
It's a different Earth.
Maybe. We don't actually know.
Well, the Captain Carter from the What If was in the past.
He gets dropped off in the future. Remember at the end of the whole season, they're like, "Hey, look, Steve's still alive."
I guess it would help if What If told us what Earth numbers those are. So
yeah. Now we're gonna get into the part I didn't like. I feel like they had to call Earth 19999 Earth 616 because of that fucking executive who fucked up. That Disney executive who called it 616 months ago. And then in the movie, they're like, "Hey, we call your Earth 616. It is not 616. It had a number. It's always had a number."
Well, 616 was also the comics.
Yes, that is the comics.
Yeah. So in saying that their Earth is 616, they're saying that their Earth is basically the prime.
No, that is a DC bullshit. Marvel stuff has always existed together.
No. I'm saying, like, if we're saying that's Earth 616, then technically their backstories and Spider-Man and shit like that should abide by comic book 616 rules.
Well, that's kind of my issue. There's already a 616.
Yeah.
So calling it 616 in this movie, no, bad. No.
Also, that's just one universe saying that. So maybe they're off.
They better be. This better not become a thing like the fucking blip.
I will tell you right now, the whole Illuminati thing I found was a waste of time, and it was just done just to get the fan reaction that they wanted, which deserves.
I don't agree.
I have two emotions on this. Okay, two emotions. One is like the filming of this. So they did this because everything that they did, Captain Carter, Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, Black Bolt actually being somewhat redeemed and shit like that, Professor Xavier, these are all fan things that they put in here, and then they kill him off right away too. The only one who wasn't like the fan thing was Baron Mordo. He also didn't die. And I felt.
Can I say Captain Carter?
What?
Go ahead, but I want to get into Captain Carter's death because I feel like she's an idiot.
I felt like this was just, it was a waste of time, honestly, when there was so much more to be told in this story, to just show all these fan favorites. And they use this moment here to get a lot more people on board with the movie itself, to like be like, yeah, fuck yeah, this is a great movie, because they did what the people wanted them to do. Now, on the other hand, that's how I look at it in one way. But on my other hand, I'm just like, that's fucking awesome. This is cool. This shows that, different universes have different stakes. There's different, these people exist in other areas. And shit, I'm losing my words. Fuck it. I don't know exactly what I was gonna say. But I also do want to say, are they trying to say that everybody looks exactly the same in every universe?
We already know that's not true.
Right, because of Spider-Man.
And Loki.
And Spider-Man. But in this movie, every fucking Doctor Strange was fucking, Cumberbatch. It's like, why? Why are we
just the three we saw? Well, four we saw.
We had the dead one, the one in their universe.
There was Defender Strange, Illuminati Strange. There was Sinister Strange, and then Regular Strange.
Regular Strange. Was there not another one?
No. People keep calling Defender Strange Zombie Strange, but they're the same character. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right, go on with Captain Carter. I just
feel like she was stupid. You're fighting a character that can move objects. Let's throw the one thing.
Right.
God, I knew as soon as she jumped into the only reason she survived to the end is because she stayed out of the fight the entire time. Captain Marvel was beating the shit out of Wanda. Which, granted, Captain Marvel proven to be extremely powerful, warranted that she lasted as long as she did. Captain Carter, just an enhanced super soldier.
Yeah, with a jetpack.
Yeah, with a jetpack, which was cool. But I knew it.
No, all the tech Mr. Fantastic has, and she has a fucking jetpack, like the rocket.
Yeah.
Team. What the fuck? Like, give her something better.
Oh, I loved how his introduction was being teleported in, like the Future Foundation bullshit. But as soon as I saw that Captain Carter was the only one left, and she threw a smoke grenade to try to cover her tracks, I'm like, "Don't throw your shield." And she immediately throws her shield. I'm like, "Well, you're dead."
Was she the last one? I thought Captain Marvel was the last to die.
No, Captain Marvel had a statue dropped on her.
Yeah, but she was the last to die. She got sent. Wanda threw her out of the Billets, and then she killed Captain Marvel or Captain America or Captain Carter. Sorry, too many fucking
Captain
Britain. Then she killed Captain Carter, and then she flew back in and saw that, and then they went at it, and that's when she killed Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was the last to die because you just see her hand drop, and then Wanda walks away.
All right. I could have swore it was Captain Carter who was last one, but yeah, she was an idiot. Why would you throw that? Just but I disagree with you with this whole thing being pointless, because it showed how powerful Wanda is. Like Feige has said repeatedly, she almost beat Thanos, not Feige. Feige didn't do anything. And we finally see that. And when she's taking out all the Ultrons, I like how she got oil on her face, like Carrie's blood.
Yeah.
Because, they try to keep the PG rating still. Can't do too much actual blood. Which
little kids still think that is blood. Like I had to
my wife thought it was.
I had to explain to my kid, no, it's oil from the bots.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was blood at first too, until we got a closer look. Oh, because I was like, oh shit, we're going full horror with this.
Yeah, I like that. I like that they did that because it gave it a way to appear more sinister while not being sinister.
Hey, DC, look, Marvel did that thing you wanted to do by making a dark, fun film. Can you get your shit together, please?
I don't understand what that's reference to.
They want to keep making all these dark movies and they all suck.
They just need to hire certain directors to do their stuff.
They need to hire someone to be in charge of this bullshit and fire Ezra.
So yeah, I want to go back to Captain Marvel real quick. Unless you're working your way there. Are you working your way there or no?
I was kind of done with it. Go ahead.
Well, Captain Marvel, how do you like her death? Just getting a statue crushing her to kill her. Do you think that's kind of lame, or because I explained how this happens?
It makes sense because it caught her off guard, and most people don't survive when they get squished.
Okay, so somebody I was talking to about this was like, the fuck they gonna kill Captain Marvel like that? Like, how's she just gonna get squished? Because we see Thanos punch Captain Marvel in Endgame
with the Power Stone.
With the Power Stone. So
Power Gem. Sorry, people.
How is a statue crushing this Captain Marvel when it's the same power? Somebody asked me that. And I was like, oh, easy. Wanda took her fucking powers from her. She drained her powers from her.
Did she?
When they're up in the air fighting, you watch her go from her like brightness and it just starts fading down. It's like Wanda's sucking her powers out of her.
That's interesting. I have to, because supposedly they both unlocked their abilities through the Infinity Stones. Mm-hmm. So they might be, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that next time I watch.
So I would like people to watch that next time and see if you saw what I saw, because that's how I came under that thought was like, well, she just sucks her power out because she's bright the whole time, like flame on style almost, and it like goes very slowly and just dims out, and that's when she gets crushed. Like she gets knocked down, and then Wanda drops the statue on her and kills her.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, that makes more sense, because I was like, how are you going to crush somebody who can get hit with the Power Stone? Like you're not, not with a little thing like that. Although universes, we don't know if the powers work the same way.
Yeah.
And I did like that they kept Wanda in that universe, still has her powers. So she's
Yeah,
still
I was
good.
actually wondering that.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Moving on. I just wanted to drop that little bit there because I know
No,
there's
it's
been, like,
interesting. I'm glad you said that, because I'm gonna definitely because Victoria's like, I want to go see this movie, which is the first time ever she's ever said that to me, because she normally hates movies.
Mhm.
Like she doesn't like sitting down for multiple hours at a time, even though she'll just fucking put on
This is
the random bullshit and then watch reels for hours at a time.
This movie is perfect for mothers and stuff like that too, I will say, or people that just have that gene in them to automatically be motherly. Because what is Chavez doing? She's like literally searching the multiverse to find her parents, her two mothers.
She thinks they're dead. She's running from Wanda yeah.
We don't know how long that's been going on either. Like that's another thing. I'm like, how long has that been going on?
Probably a couple months at least.
Only one Strange has been helping her so far, up to that point.
Yeah.
But then you have like the whole motherly stuff with Wanda, where she doesn't even give a fuck about Vision in this movie, except for the one little line. She's like, I had to rip my husband's skull or my boyfriend's skull out or whatever for nothing. Which totally.
Well, she kind of got like, I know Sam didn't get to see the final product with WandaVision, but Vision, like her and Vision seemed to have a nice send off, whereas her and her children kind of just got ripped away. So maybe she feels like Vision has been put to rest and he deserves to.
I don't think her children got ripped away though, because she had the same send off to them as she did to that Vision.
Well, she said goodbye and she's like crying, and Vision's like, look, I know I'm not real. I'm glad we got to spend this time together, but please don't do this again. Yeah. He's like, let me rest.
Yeah. And I think that there would have been some interesting element to White Vision showing up somewhere, but
that would have been interesting, but I don't know.
I don't know how they would have played it, honestly.
Yeah, because for only a 126-minute movie, this movie feels packed.
This movie, bro. They packed it, and it was confusing at times too, like how packed it was. But again, I don't know. I'm still on the fence with this film because it just wasn't madness enough for me, man. Like you killed a bunch of characters that meant nothing to us outside of the fandom, Like, so there was no impact there for me. Like a movie should have impact when you are killing important characters. These characters are important.
I felt
to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, those characters are throwaway, but the impact I felt was for Wanda. Like she is turning into this horrible thing of a person.
Dude, I gotta be honest. I felt the acting was really weird and weak from her in this movie.
I thought it was like how when she like depending on how menacing she wanted to be, she would flip between her accent. Like I thought that was so brilliantly done.
They did that too, so that you knew when she was in Wanda's body in the other universe, I believe, because she has a light accent in that universe as when she takes over the other body. So I did like Wanda when she was possessing the other one, but when she was just in like her Scarlet Witch getup and stuff, I felt like it was just off, but it might have just been the character too. I don't know.
I mean, she was a bit off. That was the madness.
Yeah, I guess.
I want to save Strange for last. So let's go into Chavez. What do you think about America?
Oh, she was underused in this movie. She was just a plot device, and it was pointless. That's gonna piss a lot of people off.
I disagree. I thought
found her being in this movie was literally a plot device to get from A to B, and you're just like trying to kill a kid to take her powers when there's so many other ways to do this. Honestly, yeah, she really didn't do much in the movie. It was really just to set her up for future endeavors with her.
this was her origin film, and I'm glad it was wrapped in a Doctor Strange adventure.
If you could call this a fucking Doctor Strange movie.
I can, and I will.
This is not a Doctor Strange movie.
I disagree.
This was a movie with Doctor Strange in it. I'm sorry. No,
I mean, that's pretty much all of the good Doctor Strange stuff. There's a reason his books don't hold weight. But I thought she was like introducing her this way was the best possible use of the character. And I like how we get a little glimpse of her backstory, which was recently retconned in the books for some stupid reason. Now her parents died of poisoning. It's stupid. I hope they don't change it in the films, because I like the aspect of, they're still out there. Learn how to control your powers and maybe you can find them.
Yeah.
And yeah, they did a little bit of Disney bullshit with, just believe in yourself at the end, but all of the breadcrumbs toward that were there. How Strange, told her, like, you always ended up where you needed to be. So subconsciously, you're already controlling this power. And yeah, she learns that she's super fucking strong as well. That was awesome. She's like, oh my God, I did that. It just, I thought the acting from, I'm not even going to try to pronounce her first name, from Gomez, is her last name, was really good, especially at the end when we see resurrected Defender Strange coming at her with a cape of demons. She's, what the fuck? That was a perfect reaction. That's exactly how I would react as well. And I'm glad we didn't spend too much time on her, but I will be happy to see her in future stuff. Young Avengers.
I'm sure.
There's
we
no know it's coming. You might as well just announce it, Marvel.
Yeah. Either that, or they're just trying this. Maybe it won't be a Young Avengers by the time they get to them.
Yeah, they keep waiting too long.
New Avengers.
Yeah, maybe that's the plan. So, and I like how at the end we leave her and she's learning how to use magic as well. So we know her powers are based in some kind of magic thing.
So, I'm curious, with seeing this scene, it made me think back to Ned being able to do portals like super easy in Spider-Man.
Well, not super easy. He fucked up. It was just a good fuck up.
But shit, where was I going? So in this movie, Doctor Strange and Wong both remember there was an incident with Spider-Man. They don't know he's Peter Parker. I think that was just
we never find out that part. We just
right. But in this movie, I'm assuming, the event still happened with Spider-Man because people know. So did the thing with Ned still technically happen to him? Like, was he still able to open portals? And if so,
well, yeah, it all still happened.
Why wouldn't Doctor Strange go get him then and teach him the ways?
Maybe he got on his nerves. I mean, Strange, we already established he's an asshole.
Maybe. Okay. Anyways.
I'm glad you brought up the Wong, though, because I wanted to go in.
bro.
Once
Wong.
again, Benedict Wong. I'm so happy that he is in this franchise.
Mm.
Like his persona of this character is so good. Like, and I'm super glad he's the Sorcerer Supreme as well. Like, I feel like his character better fits that, whereas Doctor Strange can now go
And
do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Like, he's never been a character that has ever felt like it suited a leader position to me.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. I mean, you see it even just with how they introduce Wong into the film.
Mhm.
Like he just shows up and they do the whole like superhero entrance music thing to it. It's like, fuck yeah, like Wong is the man. I heard that he was like talking on some late night show, Benedict Wong was, about trying to get like a Wong movie, like a Sorcerer Supreme Wong movie.
Give him a Disney Plus show. I want to see him training what's his name? Abomination.
Oh yeah.
What was it? Somebody said this is the Wong face. Because he keeps popping up all over the place. And they just announced he's going to pop up again in some stuff coming up this year.
Yeah. Speaking of Abomination, though, I think we know that Shang-Chi is based after the She-Hulk show, because you see Abomination in that trailer in his human form. So I don't know if maybe...
Yeah, that was shocking.
Oh, wait, is he in this? So I don't know if he can mutate back and forth.
Yeah, that's the question.
Or did maybe it's after? No, because it's odd. Fucking hell, Marvel, figure your shit out and let us know. Stop doing these weird things. And maybe get your CG fixed up so people stop bitching about the show. Anyway,
yeah, get over it. Yeah, Wong. Like, it's so weird because it's Wong playing Wong.
Yeah. I found this interesting. I was listening to him talking about how he got the role. And he was like working on another movie. And then he asked somebody, what you doing next? And they're like, oh, we're working on Doctor Strange. Going to work on Doctor Strange next and stuff. And he looked up the character and noticed there's a Wong and stuff like that. He's like, dude, Wong, like, So I thought that was interesting, and the fact that the two main characters, like male leads, are both Benedicts. How fucking annoying does that have to be on set? You have to call them by their character names, like Benedict, come here. Like, Anyway.
Oh yeah, so I don't know what I want to go into next. If I want to talk about Danny Elfman or Doctor Strange finally.
Well, first of all, what did you think about Sinister Strange?
Oh yeah, dude, that fight was incredible. I
really enjoyed that fight. I did enjoy the fight with the musical.
Yeah, that was unique. Oh, I'm so glad we got some new magic. I mean, we still got the sputtering.
You notice in this entire movie, we never once went to the mirror universe.
No.
Never
I mean, we kind of see it when she enters the building at Kamatage, but
don't think that was the mirror universe, though. I think that was just a trap. I'm not sure what that was. So maybe they were trying to trap her in the mirror universe and it just didn't work.
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyways, yes, the fight with the musical notes was awesome. I really enjoyed that, and getting to see, like you said, different magic and stuff like that there was pretty cool. I like that they went a little harder on some of the magic stuff in this one than the last one that we saw, the first one.
Yeah.
So that was cool. The first one was more like a check this out, you're in the Matrix now, bitch. Like, that's how I felt with that one.
Yeah.
So go on. What were you about to say with it?
Like I said, I'm real glad the magic was more than just the sparkly orange shit, which we got a little bit of, especially during the assault on Karmatage. But
I think the nice thing was they did not just magic, but witchcraft. So you got.
I like how they differentiated that.
Yeah. And I think that was a really good thing for them to do, especially because there's so many people out there like, oh, I'm not gonna watch Doctor Strange because it's witchcraft. Well, no, it's not. It's mystical
sorcery.
arts. It's mystical arts, not witchcraft. They're different. They are.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't think it's as cool of magic as we saw as Infinity War, but I still appreciate seeing more. At least he didn't just show up and make a fucking tornado like Endgame.
He had to hold the water back.
Yeah, he could have
he
done something.
Just communicated to Wong to get all of their people out of there and just let the place flood and kill everybody else. I don't know. They didn't do that.
But going from magic to Strange, I enjoyed the transition of his character in this movie because he's kind of been aimless since Endgame, a little bit in self-doubt, even as we continue to see the fallout from Endgame in this movie, which seems to be a very much something we're getting a lot of in Phase 4.
Yeah, there's a lot of therapy needed in these movies.
we see his ex-surgery rival show up at the wedding to Christine. I forgot her name again.
Yeah. Amy McAdams or whatever it is.
Rachel McAdams,
whatever.
I meant the character. I had to look at the cast list. And yeah, it's like, man, there's a lot of people who really, really got screwed over from this. And he's the one who basically made it happen. So he's really feeling the weight of that. And I like the what Christine continues to say, he's got to be the one holding the scalpel. So it's all got to be done by his hand. And he kind of lets that go at the end where he's like, no, I don't have to be the one solving all the problems.
Right.
Kid, you can do this.
Which is where I think he differentiates from Tony in that way. Is like, I'm not going to be the one that has to do everything. Where as Tony, I mean, to the day he died, basically, he did everything. But
he caused most of the problems we're still dealing with.
But did he though? That's just people.
Mysterio.
He didn't cause that. No one made him become a psychopath. Tony didn't make him become a psychopath just because he made fun of his tech and called it barf. That's no reason to become a supervillain. That's the stupidest reason to become a supervillain, because someone called your tech barf.
Well, that's probably why he's the stupidest supervillain. I love Mysterio. Jake Gyllenhaal's performance is great, but let's be real. In terms of supervillainy, not the best villain.
It made no sense too. If there's Avenger level threats, where were all these other heroes? They were like, oh, these people are off world. These people are off world. Doctor Strange would have been there. Come on, now.
Maybe.
Come on.
Maybe. But it's just his journey through this movie. I felt was really nice for him as a character, and I like where he ends up at the end. But when he takes over the dead defender's body, and he's like, look, I need you to protect my body. After the whole music fight, which again was fucking awesome. That is, I don't know whose idea that was, Danny or Sam, but clearly some kind of really great collaboration happened there.
Yeah.
And then he takes over his body. He's like, protect me from the damned souls or souls of the damned. And she's like, what? It turns out it doesn't matter. They attacked the other version of him anyway, and then it came out of his eyeball. I love the line. It's like, for fuck's sake, you're the master of the mystic arts. Like, control them. And then, like, how Sam Raimi is this, that he takes all of these like demons from hell, turns them into a cape,
Yeah.
and like uses them to fly to the tower.
It's pretty awesome. A great scene. I didn't understand where people got the idea that this was supposed to be Zombie Strange from What If. I never was under the assumption of that when I saw him in the
I don't
trailer.
think they are. They just call him Zombie Strange, even though it's just Defender Strange still. Yeah. Ponytail Strange, whatever you want to call him.
I do like that there are repercussions for possessing a dead body, which is nice.
Yeah.
Nice little touch there. Would it matter though, because that body's from another universe?
It's still, I guess, violating some rules of nature, but
Also,
that's what Strange does.
How can you also dream walk in a body that can't dream?
Well, I mean, Wanda wasn't possessing someone who was dreaming.
Yeah, but it was a live body that could dream, so they were connected through the dream world.
But dreams are just glimpses into alternate worlds. It's not like Generation X, where it's a physical plane of existence.
Yeah,
it's just a look. Whereas when you're sleeping, you actually are walking into that dream, which is walking into that universe.
So he would have to know what universe Defender Strange is from then.
Well, he's buried in his universe.
He's buried in his universe, but I feel there has to be some connection to the universe that the body is from.
Well, he did look for it. If you remember, he's looking through the web, all the little orbs of different multiverses until he finds,
that's right.
Finds the right one, and he's like, okay, I got it.
Gotcha. I forgot about that part.
Yeah, which how cool would like they did a lot of like prosthetics for his zombie look, which is the Sam Raimi way, which
reminded me a lot of Two-Face from the Dark Knight movies. The way he talked and shit.
Yeah. It was like I like the little like mannerisms of slight jerking, because he's
muscles and
he's fighting off rigor mortis.
That body decayed a lot faster than I thought it would.
I like that he buried him in a roof.
Yeah.
That's gonna violate some ordinance.
The fact that he said I've buried worse, I'm really curious what
does that mean? Also, it wasn't the fact you were burying yourself, it's that you put it in an apartment building.
Fun little thing I found out is that apartment building, of course, is the same fucking set. Like, I didn't find out, I just noticed it. It's the same set that they land on when they come into the Earth, to the other universe.
Yeah.
And then every time they walk out into a road from the alley, it's the same fucking set that they used in Endgame when they walked out when they got there from time traveling. I'm like,
that's funny.
They're just like lazy as shit. Like, they're just like, hey, we got
is
this
it lazy or is it homages? Because
it's literally the same thing. It just decorated like it
I know, but is it on purpose?
I don't know. It has to be. Like, right? It has to be like,
yeah, that's what I didn't notice that
point to it, right? Because he walks out of that area in his universe. He walks out of that area in the Earth 838 or whatever I think they were called.
Probably
that universe. And then they walk out of that same area when they're in the Earth whatever, Sinister Strange's Earth that collided with the other universe. So almost like every universe they walk out, they're just like, yeah, we're gonna walk out of this and change the set piece. Like, and they don't change anything because the AC and shit is still sitting there no matter what universe it is. So it's just like they just change the tone of the building and shit like that. And I don't know if that's just me noticing it or what, but it's literally the same alley that they pop out of in Endgame as well. When Hulk like has to take his shirt off and go, oh, so degrading. Why do I know these movies so fucking much?
Rewatching, probably. Also discussing them endlessly. I just want to do a shout out to whoever put in the Marvel Cinematic fan page of an alias for Illuminati Strange is other me. I don't think that's an alias, but I appreciate that you put that in there. I just love like a lot of the fights, and they were kind of far and few between with Strange himself, but when they happened, they were like crazy with the music, the demons.
I would love to have been on set when they filmed any of this movie, because the handwork that these people have to, like, between him and Wanda alone, oh my goodness, it's just them miming.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just, you don't know what the fuck is gonna look like. You're just doing it.
And I say I was a little disappointed during the fight with Kermit because I thought when they brought in those other, I think the people that Wong brought in were the other Sanctum defenders from around the globe.
Yeah.
I thought the lady that came in was from the village from Shang-Chi.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, are we going to see him? No, he never shows up at all. I'm like, that's disappointing.
Yeah, that's why I think like Shang-Chi may take place later after these things.
No, they have, if you go on Disney Plus, they have a timeline of all the movies, and Shang-Chi is definitely before this.
But this isn't out on Disney Plus yet, so they don't have it in the timeline.
But it's after Spider-Man.
Oh, is it? Oh,
wait. Yeah, because we hear that. By the way, how do you like Raimi?
Is Shang-Chi after Spider-Man?
No.
Okay.
How do you like Spider-Man right now, and I guess this and Moon Knight, even though it's vague, are at the very end of the timeline right now.
Okay.
Because it goes Hawkeye, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and then Moon Knight somewhere around there.
It could literally take place anywhere though.
Because they have confirmed it's after Hawkeye.
Okay.
I don't know how much longer after, but yeah, it's whatever. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, Raimi shitting on his organic Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I love that. Does it come out of his butt? No, I hope not.
I think so. Which they also played that in the Spider-Man movie as well, too. So.
Yeah. It's you gotta appreciate him, knowing what he did. Which
apparently somebody asked Sam Raimi if he would do another Spider-Man movie, like one of the new ones, and he's like, if I do a Spider-Man movie without Toby, he'll kill me.
Which you know what, go for it. Spider-Man 4, finally, let's do it. Did you hear that he actually went back to school?
Who?
Sam. Before he came back to this movie, he went back to try and relearn how to make films, but also pick up on the new techniques people are using.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always good to keep learning your craft. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people, like, otherwise you'll end up like some of the really old directors who don't want to change anything.
Yeah.
And won't adapt to the times. Not that there's anything wrong with that either, because sometimes we get really good films from that, but you're also not hitting a bigger audience like you probably with your movie.
What was his last? It was The Great and Powerful Oz from like 9 years ago, wasn't it?
Maybe. I thought he did he didn't direct that new Evil Dead movie, did he? He was just the producer on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what his last directing movie. He did a TV show, and then he did the Ash vs. Evil Dead TV show, and then Oz the Great and Powerful was the last movie before Multiverse. He has 2 other movies, it looks like, in production.
Oh, cool. So he's back
Pre-production
in,
and announced.
back into it.
World War III is one of his movies that are announced.
That'll be interesting.
Can we not do that movie yet? Because we might be there soon. So
And of course, with Sam Raimi, we get his longtime partner,
Bruce Campbell.
Pizza Papa.
Pizza Papa.
Which I love how they recreate the Evil Dead scene.
Oh yeah, 100%. I didn't know how many people have seen the demographic of people who have seen Evil Dead versus the demographic who are going to see this movie.
Yeah.
I was wondering how many people would catch all the Evil Dead references, especially with Bruce Campbell beating the crap out of himself.
It'll stop in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, and then the end credit scene. You have to wait all the way till the end, which I watched, and then we watched it again. Just, and my wife was like, "What the fuck?"
Does that mean that he went back to work for 3 weeks, or did it wear off pretty quick? That's the question.
Maybe when Doctor Strange leaves the universe, it ends.
Yeah.
The magic isn't being reinforced by anybody there.
And how he spikes the camera. It's over.
Yeah. All right, so let's dive into this little aspect here. So we talked about the Black Bolt destroying their Doctor Strange by saying,
"Oh yeah, let's get into the horror shit." Yeah.
So okay, first of all,
oh yeah, okay, no, yeah, Doctor Strange.
Too deep. What did you think about them using Thanos as like their taking off point of like, this is how somewhat of the universe is connected? Like they still had a big bad that was Thanos. Did you appreciate them using Thanos again, or would you have appreciated like a different character?
I appreciated from the aspect of, it's like they found a different way, because I mean, you saw Thanos impaled on his own sword, and they didn't have a giant army that we could see.
I think Black Bolt just talked to Thanos.
I mean, maybe he tried. That's how they beat him.
But his sword was impaled into him. That's how they killed him.
Yeah, I mean, he could be covering his ears.
Can we do an Endgame movie from their universe? I would love to know how that went.
Make it What If season 2. Let's do it.
Live action though.
But it brings back that question from the wedding. You know, was there another way?
Right.
And perhaps from
what the way was though.
No, they don't, which makes it. We just know it was not the Darkhold. It was the Book of Ashanti that helped them.
Right.
Which,
by the way, fuck you. Like, we have a Darkhold in every universe, but there's only one Book of Good.
Well, apparently the Darkhold is just a copy in every universe.
Yeah. But there's only one Book of Good for the entire multiverse. And then the Darkhold is like everywhere. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Too much
I'm sure there's some kind of metaphor in all that, but
yeah.
I like how
now there's no Book of Good or evil. Supposedly. Yeah. Now, however, like
I like how they get to the book and they're like, the whole movie, they're like, it just gives you what you want. And he's like, book, give me what I want. And then boom, it burns. I mean, maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I don't know.
I think maybe it did work that way because it gave him what he wanted by not being the thing that he could use to win, but by making it so that someone else could win for him.
Or did it give him his third eye?
That too.
It's which book gave him that eye? That's going to be an interesting question going forward.
Right, because if the Darkhold did, when the Darkhold got destroyed, shouldn't that have been gone then?
Oh, you know, I'm glad you brought that up because there's an interesting bit of trivia from the comics here with the Darkhold. Obviously, you know, the Darkhold has had a couple different copies in the comic itself.
Yeah.
There's a spell in it that was used to erase all vampires from the Marvel universe. When that spell got destroyed, the vampires came back. Is this how Blade gets started?
That would be an awesome way for them to do that, honestly. Like, that would be pretty cool. However, would we be jumping into Blade year 1 then when we see Blade?
I don't
Or would
know.
it be, because the way he was born and everything? It'd be
Yeah, I don't
interesting.
know.
Or maybe it just goes throughout time because now the Darkhold's gone, so they're vampires the whole time. Be interesting to see how that works. If they do that, of course.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of there's so many things, so we'll get to this. But you were talking about the Thanos. I'd like to talk about the horror aspect that Sam brought into this. Let's go back to that fight. Like the oil on her face, she keeps popping out of the walls at them. The grudge like movement out of the gong and Kamertage, which she's grabbing people through the water.
Yeah. Wait, is she killing them? Like, are those?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely, they're dead.
Because that old monk dude was like one of the big guys in the first Doctor Strange movie, wasn't he? Like,
probably. Yeah. A lot of people are dead now.
There's so many dead people.
Yeah, and again, that Disney-like elements, how they stop her, I thought, like, that's great. That's awesome. That show her to her children so that she can see the monster she's become.
Not her children, Tivis.
In her mind, they are.
People need to stop saying, I don't care. In Amber Heard's mind, she didn't shit on a bed either. So,
well, no, it's Amber Heard's mouth. She didn't do it. That doesn't mean she doesn't know she did.
Just because you think something is yours doesn't mean it is. You could be mentally ill. And maybe that's the point of this. This is a very mentally ill person who needs to be restrained.
Another thing, here's a something for you. That house is the exact same house from WandaVision. Yep. Perhaps this is the world she tapped into when she dreamt of the children. So perhaps these two specific children were the basis for the one she created, which means she has a stronger attachment to them.
So are you thinking that when with that, then do you think that's how what was her name? Agatha. Do you think that is how Agatha ended up picking Boner to be her brother, because she tapped into the multiverse using the Darkhold and saw that was Quicksilver in another universe?
I mean, yeah, very likely.
That would make a little more sense. There's a lot of things that can make sense, but listen here, as a filmmaker, the audience shouldn't have to do it for us. Like,
not always, but there's always fun with speculation.
Yeah. Okay. So the horror aspects of this shit is awesome. I really enjoyed that to a point.
That Wanda got fucked up.
I really think that for America, this is a decent enough setup for her.
Oh, that name is so open to a lot of jokes right now.
Okay, Chavez. I do think that Chavez this set up her character pretty well. I would like to see them do a TV show of her going through universes, and it would be a great way for us to experience different universes without it feeling like they're just rushing through to just be like, oh, look, we did a multiverse thing here.
Yeah, give her like season 3 of What If. Since we had the monitor throughout the first season, I mean, we've had one perspective.
Oh, no. I'm talking about doing it live action. Like, do a fucking live action of
I'd be fine with a cartoon, but
universe stuff. Hopping. If they're gonna do it, do it. I was talking to somebody before.
Maybe do it like your short treks where they go between animated and live action.
Yeah. I was talking to someone about this before. I was like, I felt like with this film using multiverse in the title, I expected to see more multiverse. Like, yeah, we get the little montage.
Yeah, thing. I did too, but I kind of appreciate that there wasn't.
and I get that that there wasn't for the story that they were telling. I 100% understand that, but I kind of expected there to be more. And someone was like, well, maybe they were just trying to ease us into it. And my response to that was Loki eased us into it. WandaVision didn't. What If eased us into it. This movie should have been blowing us
I
out
don't
of the
know
water
about
with it.
Well, I guess Loki kind of, yeah, with the alternate versions of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You literally go to the desolate like beginning of time place
Yeah.
where there's like
I agree. Yeah, they've been slowly easing us in. No Way Home was kind of just throwing us in the deep end with it, but
that was another one I said. No Way Home was introducing us to multiverse.
And this is not the last we're going to see. We got Quantumania?
Yeah.
The WrestleMania joke.
So as far as like between this film and say Spider-Man, I think Spider-Man hit all the points of emotion. Like they had more of an emotional hold to us as fans and for the film itself over this film for sure. And the reason I say that is because, like I said, like the cameos that we had in this film were literally just that 5-minute cameos, and you killed all these characters off and they meant nothing. When Toby got stabbed in Spider-Man, I literally dropped in my chest because I thought they were killing my Spider-Man from a kid. Like, and that's something that I think that this movie was missing, was more of the attachment to the character rather than the idea of the character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of feel like that works in this because I know my wife loved this, Multiverse of Madness. I think No Way Home is higher on my list because of my attachment to those other Spider-Man, but because she doesn't have that attachment, I think that's a detriment to No Way Home.
Right.
Where you kind of need those other 5 films to give you a little bit more perspective into why it means so much. Whereas this one, I think it works by itself. I mean, I know it's part of a long running series, but you don't need any outside.
I think even without the connection to the other 2 Spider-Men in the No Way Home, there's still enough emotional response there for you to feel like with May's death and everything like that. Like you feel that death. You feel the loss of, him and MJ because he gave it up to basically keep all of them alive.
Yeah.
So there's a lot there. Even like the emotional response we get from Doctor Strange being like, damn kid, like by the end, although I think we were missing some scenes there because before that scene, Doctor Strange was kind of like, oh, just go Scooby Doo this shit or something. Like,
yeah.
Bad sorcerer.
Yeah.
Don't leave it up to a bunch of kids. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I really enjoy how, and they even go back to when Wanda's trying to get in a Carmitage and can't get past their like magic shield, she finds a weakness and invades the person's head like her first appearance, which going back to that, she invades Tony's dreams. So is she unlocking his ability to see other alternate? Because it's like in that one, in Iron Man 3, where his suits go haywire on him, was that like maybe Ultron? Or because they're like unintentionally, I love when they do this, but they go back and retroactively change something from a previous film, like a perspective we have.
Right. Now, so you're thinking that she unlocked Tony to see,
like maybe those weren't visions of a possible future, but actually what another universe went through.
I don't think so. I think those are visions of an alternate timeline of what could happen.
Well, isn't that what a
nope.
different dimension is?
Nope.
Alternate timelines.
Nope. Nope. They explained it in Loki. It's not the same thing. They explained it in Loki. For what we are getting in the MCU, they've explained it in Loki that the timeline and the universe are 2 different things. Whereas there can be a blip in the timeline and create an alternate timeline. It's not an alternate universe. Whereas like when Doctor Strange used the time,
I appreciate that differentiation.
When Doctor Strange used the time stone, he was able to see all the possible outcomes.
That's
for
true. Yeah. Yeah.
Endgame. Not otherwise, he would have been able to see in the other universes and been like, "Oh shit, we do this, and we can stab him with his own fucking sword."
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Yeah. No. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. So they have set that up. So I think that maybe she possibly opened up an alternate timeline type thing of like the different possibilities of things that could happen. Same thing with Thor, except for Thor, like some of those things actually came true. Like Asgard fell by his hands. So
yeah.
Actually, technically, Asgard fell by the hands of Loki because Loki's the one who put the head back into the flame, the eternal flame.
Yeah, which is just Norse mythology anyway. But yeah, there's just so much about this film that I really enjoyed it. Not as much as my wife, obviously, because I don't think this breaks my top 5. But
what I'm curious.
Yeah.
What do you think about at the end? We have America standing toe to toe with Wanda on a power level almost. Like, granted, we for like a few seconds or a few minutes or whatever, we see that happening, but like, what did you think about that? Like, did you think it's realistic for the characters, or did you just think like, okay, I get it.
I don't know enough about her character, but with what we were given in this film, in how much energy it takes from Wanda to just send herself into another universe, whereas America Chavez can just open a portal. It would surprise me if she's on the same level as, say, Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Because that's the thing with these power levels, is they're not.
It's hard to distinguish, but America in the comics, she can like open the portals, punch. She can literally punch through reality. She punches hard. So that's where her strength comes from. Like they kind of show it in the tank where she punches and shatters the glass a little bit. But other than that, I don't think that she would have. I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. Like, I feel the power level is there enough to get Wanda distracted for a minute.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, Wanda's just literally like making people turn into shit or like dust them and stuff like that.
But the way I look at it is the power levels in this, there's not like a ranking, like this is the definitive strongest. It's more like tiered. Whereas Wanda, Captain Marvel, America Chavez, probably Franklin Richards, when we eventually get that scary fucking child, they're like top tier powers. That doesn't mean that they won't, they can't like beat one another depending on circumstances and writer and other stuff. But they're kind of breaking them into different like leagues makes way more sense than trying to list them, strongest to weakest.
It would have been really cool as if the Phoenix would have came in and fought Wanda on screen. I'd love that.
Phoenix, like Phoenix Force,
Red Phoenix. Sorry,
I don't know Red Phoenix
or not. I'm not Red Phoenix. Sorry, fuck. Jean Grey,
the Phoenix.
What?
She is the Phoenix. Yeah. Phoenix Force.
Yeah.
Miss Marvel.
Or there was another word before Phoenix, though.
Well, she was Miss Marvel, but
okay.
Yeah. Actually, you just stumbled into something I wanted to bring up. I feel like they're setting Wanda up to be this universe's Phoenix Force with her ability to alter reality and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been on board with merging of universes to bring in mutants and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the steps they're taking now, I can 100% be on board with it. Because say, if there's an incursion, but not a bad one that merges two worlds together to where we get the mutants and stuff, I feel like that is a possibility now after this film. Because with the way it ends, with the tower falling on her, we get a flash of red. There is no way she's dead.
Oh yeah, no. I honestly think like she like pushed
Either-
herself somewhere or something.
Yeah, either she's teleported somewhere or she's under all that rubble, just meditating, trying to get the Darkhold's influence out of her or something, but there's no way she's done. And I also think since they've established this is the only universe where she can't have children for some fucked up reason, that is how we're going to get, a Tommy and Billy, Wiccan and I forget the other one's name, those
Zoom.
heroes for the Young Avengers that they are clearly making and not telling us.
Is it Zoom?
It might be. I gotta look.
Zoom. So I don't know. But yeah, that would be pretty cool to see. But yeah, anyone who thinks she's actually dead, I don't think she is,
No.
Like and in interviews people are like, well, she says that she's not, coming back, or they have no plans for another thing with Wanda. I'm like, yeah, of course she's gonna fucking say that. She wants to keep her job.
It's simply speed.
Yeah. Zoom is DC, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked that she had to destroy the temple where the Darkhold was originally formed. Why didn't they ever destroy that temple before?
Well, Wong says it's legend, so they've just never bothered to go look.
I call bullshit because he knew right where it was.
Well, I'm trying to remember what that place was called. Give me a second.
Or is that the source that the ancient one was using to connect?
Oh, it could be, yeah.
Because she was using dark magic or whatever they considered it in the first Doctor Strange movie. But I'm
Darkhold
just like,
Castle. That's not Wundagore Mountain. That's it.
yeah.
Because that is a major
I just feel that
thing in the comics.
If the Sorcerer Supreme knows about it, the first one wouldn't destroy it because she's using dark magic. Doctor Strange clearly didn't read the fucking manual.
Yeah, to learn about the Book of Ashanti, which goes into his arrogance.
Yeah, and then Wong, he probably just isn't powerful enough to destroy it himself.
Mm-hmm.
And why risk having another sorcerer be corrupted by it? Honestly.
Now,
Did you think that he was dead when she threw him off the edge of the mountain?
I thought he was dead multiple times. When he smacked his head on the stairs during the Battle of Carmitage, and then after he fell off the cliff, I'm like, they are really alluding to him dying here.
Yeah.
I kind of have a feeling he's not going to make it through the third film.
Last time they did that was with Hawkeye. They alluded to him being killed, and instead they, flipped it. Of course, that was a Joss Whedon joint, and he's always gonna fuck with you. So I liked this movie, and then I didn't like this movie for different reasons. And it's hard to like explain all of them. A lot of them are just like,
we got one more character we haven't talked about.
Well, hold on a sec.
Okay.
I'm trying to, before we get to that.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those movies you go into, and I thought I was gonna fucking love it, and I just didn't. I don't hate it, I guess I should say. I just don't dig. I think that it could have been better, even with the story that they gave us. I think that it could have been better. How to do that with the short amount of time, I don't know. You can clearly tell things were cut out, and of course you can see where some of the reshoots happened too. So I don't know. Let's dive into this last character, and then we can give our thoughts and shit.
All right.
Like that, I guess.
Did you know who it was? Because I can tell you neither of us did.
The end credit scene?
Yeah, the woman who appears And
I did not know the character name based on the outfit.
I thought it was someone from the Eternals at first.
Okay. I could have seen that.
Because of the outfit, yeah.
Yeah.
And then she opens up a portal to the dark dimension with a purple blade, which I'm like, okay, there are two characters I know that can do, purple blades.
Sorry, that's what it was. She
What?
was using energy from the dark dimension, not the dark hold. The original Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh yeah. Actually, the Darkhold uses energy from the dark dimension. That's established in Runaways.
Okay, so either way, you would need all that shit done.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like the book of the dark dimension, whatever.
Yeah.
But so this woman shows up. She makes a purple blade, opens up a hole to the dark dimension. Is like, hey, let's go. He's like, he opens his third eye. And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
So, he's just gonna, once again, he's off doing his own thing, doesn't care.
And the dark dimension is where he fought Dormammu.
Dormammu lives, yeah.
You got a really cool glimpse of seeing some of the same effects when she opened up the realm and stuff like that, or the hole.
And trying to figure this character out was a trip, because I'm like, there are two characters I can think of that can do purple blades. One is a pink mutant on the Exiles. I'm like, that can't be her. Mm-hmm. The second one is Psylocke, and I'm like, I don't think Psylocke can open up portals.
No, I've read comics with her in them.
I have too. I just don't remember her.
I didn't recognize the outfit. It just didn't scream her character. And of course, we're talking about Charlize Theron's character,
Clea,
who is also the
niece of Dormammu.
She's the Sorcerer Supreme, though.
Oh yeah, of the Dark Dimension. Yeah, but also Dormammu's niece.
Yeah. Also, future wife to Doctor Strange, by the way.
Yes. So I'm glad they took this movie to kind of give him a resolution with oh my God, I forgot her name again. Christine.
She says it like 100 times in the movie.
I know, but she's
Christine. Christine, I love you, Christine.
New old Christine with Clark Gregg.
Christine, I can't ever get over you. Christine, I love you in every universe. But even if you eat me. Christine.
Wait, what?
There's got to be a universe where Christine eats him, right?
So he got his resolution with her. So now he can move on to probably his longest relationship in the comics, and also creepiest relationship in the comics when you think about the progression where she becomes his student and then
I wonder what the incursion is that she says, hey, you created an incursion, let's go fix it. I wonder what the incursion is.
Was it from the first film or from one of his many other appearances?
I was starting to think it was from the first film, because he does the time loop thousands of times. We don't even know how many times he does it in the dark dimension. So like, what you realize there? Are we getting Dormammu back again?
That's two Doctor Strange films now where he doesn't actually beat the baddie. They just change their perspective to where they give up.
Oh, Dormammu didn't change his perspective. He's just like, fucking, I just won out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like, I no longer want to invade. I just go.
And then this one, like, the villain was already. So it's interesting because the first time Wanda's introduced, she's a villain.
Mm-hmm.
She's somewhat of a goodie who's still like on the fence the whole time.
Yeah.
And then she ends as a villain at the moment.
Yeah, she just her justification for this. I want to keep talking about
for everything is horrible, but let's go on with Clea.
Yeah, I really want to dive into that though after this. Yeah. It's interesting because the fact that she opens up into the dark dimensions makes me think this is like we're going to finally get a continuation of the first film rather than just what he's been doing since.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see where this goes.
Where she opens up the dark dimension, they walk in there and it's still just him on a loop doing shit.
You never left. We're getting annoyed.
Get the fuck out, please.
Can you do something about this?
Because what that would be pretty cool to see though, like if he just split off and created two timelines within that universe. One where Dormammu did leave, and another where he just stays there the entire fucking time, fucking with it.
Yeah.
Because we've already seen in What If that you could he splits in that one universe.
Also, his ability in Infinity War, where he makes multiple versions of himself.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm curious to see where this goes from, and so all of the stuff.
I'm curious, how much do you know of her character from the comic? Because I remember reading comics with her in it, but I don't know deep dive like a lot
I
of
know
people
the
do.
basics.
Okay, cool. Because I'm not gonna try and go out there and be fake like half the people on the internet probably are right now. Be like, oh yeah, Clea. She was like, did you see?
No, I've only read one, maybe two. Yeah, I've read maybe one or two comics where he first meets her. I don't believe I've gotten to it's been a long time since I read the early 60s stuff. Like it's probably getting close to 10 years since I dropped off that and started reading the Ultimates. But I know I've read where he meets her.
Okay.
I don't think she was Sorcerer Supreme yet, nor was she training under him yet. And they definitely weren't a love interest, but there was chemistry, kind of flirting. So I don't know a whole lot other than, the basics. She's Dormammu's niece. She's Sorcerer. She ends up being Sorcerer Suprema there. She's currently Sorcerer Supreme after Doctor Strange was killed last year in the comics. We'll see how long that lasts. So I'm
reading a little bit on here, like in her bio and shit like that, that they have. And I'm curious if this is a storyline that they might actually do. Because again, like I said, like half the people on the internet talking about this girl never knew her in the comics. They just want to pretend like they did. Which is annoying when you do that, guys, because then you make people think you know more than you do.
I'll fully laugh. I had no idea who the hell she was when she appeared. I had to look her character up.
Yeah. But there's a storyline apparently where at some point Steven saw him with no alternative but to ask for Mephisto's assistance to save.
Oh, here we go again.
Mephisto agreed to help him, but in return, Clea would lose any memory of Steven and their time together. He paid her one final visit and asked her if she thought they could ever be together again, thinking that she would say no, and she said yes. Steven was heartbroken as the deal with Mephisto already settled on her losing her memory. Shortly after, though, however, Steven was killed, and all of the magic spells he'd cast and deals he settled for their effect, allowing Clea to remember him once again. So this would also make everybody remember, if they did it, Spider-Man and everything else, and Wong's crazy adventure that he probably did in Vegas or whatever it was.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So I actually kind of think that would be cool. I don't want to see Mephisto show up anytime soon, just to spite every fan that wants him.
And was that the most recent thing from 2001?
It does not say when.
Because that is extremely similar to One More Day.
A lot, yeah. It does not say what comic it came from. It also says Steven told Clea he was a fool for ever letting her go, and left her with the Eye of Agamotto and the Cloak of Levitation, claiming there was no one else who he could trust. Yeah. And I think that's when she becomes Sorcerer Supreme of Earth. Although Wong's Sorcerer Supreme, so that wouldn't help.
I have a feeling he's not going to survive this next movie.
I don't think so either. I think they're going to kill him off. It seems
especially
like
if Sam comes back.
Yeah, it seems like they're doing a rush job of him to kind of make him like a rushed version of Tony Stark. Honestly, that's how I feel. Yeah, I could be 100% wrong, and I know other people probably have other feelings. I'm not a massive Doctor Strange fan. I actually got a buddy who is, so I would have loved to have had him on today too, but timing and stuff didn't work out. He grew up with it since before I was born.
I mentioned that that show that my new friend, I guess Ryan does, that Sorcerer or Podcast Supreme. Last time we did a show, and I haven't listened to their review from last week of the movie yet because I'm saving that to go in after we discussed, because I'm curious, since they're doing the deep dive, what all they connections they make.
Yeah, dude. So what do you think about the casting of Charlize though? I dig it.
I mean, yeah, I have no strong feelings either way. I'm more curious than anything
what they do.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Oh my God, but Wanda.
Yeah, let's dive.
She blames everyone but her accepting responsibility. It's like, why did you kill those people? You killed them. What are you talking about? You literally did it.
Your arrogance killed them, or you protecting one person. Then they got into the whole thing of they kind
why are you making me kill you?
They kind of reversed it though on the whole like Spock thing, where it's like, this one person is worth the many. Although saving that one person saves the majority of the multiverse. So
yeah. And
so these few monks on this like little thing, are they monks? Are they considered monks? I don't know what they're considered, but I'm gonna call them monks. These, because they wear the monk robes.
I think they say that in the first movie. I don't know. I need to go back and rewatch it.
The monks of Taj Mahal or something like that.
Yeah.
Go on.
I'm trying to think. I had a whole bunch of stuff in my head last night when I was thinking about what to say today because where we're going from this film, there's so many possibilities. I mean, there's a lot of loose ends still from all of phase 4. And I feel like this is really the building phase again. We're back to phase 1. And I know a lot of people are complaining, you can't easily jump into this series anymore. I'm like, well, no shit.
Yeah.
I think about this as a TV show. We're in like season 7. Do you really think you could jump into season 7 without knowing some previous stuff and not feel a little confused?
I do have a complaint though, like with the way things are going. Like I'm tired of everything being a setup movie. Like give me like to lead into something else. You know what I mean? Like it's all like, it seems like with this movie, there was just so much setup for what's to come in the universe that I'm just like, so this could have been a TV show. Like you could have just made this a show for me to watch, so it wasn't a waste of 2 hours in the theater. And then you could have taken a little bit more time and fleshed out on the ideas that you had going right there.
Yeah,
I'm tired of going to a movie theater and watching something and not being fully like, what's the way to say it to not sound like a douche? To not be like, I want to watch something that's a fully encompassed movie but has the possibility to lead into other shit too at the same time.
Yeah.
Like
honestly,
end this movie with Doctor Strange popping the eye out of his head and screaming.
Oh yeah. Like even if you cut off the credit scene, that was like, why did you do? I mean, obviously that's a Raimi thing to do, but
yeah, that was a perfect ending. And then they go into the credit scene, and I'm just like,
I would have. I feel like if they hadn't have done that, it would have been a perfect ending because it's just
scene?
it's the story. Whereas the eye pops, I was like, oh shit, what happens now?
Right.
Whereas we get that, and we get another thing that's like, hey, apparently he's fine now. He's got an eyeball.
Yeah.
We're gonna do something.
And then it's just like, okay, how much time has passed between that and this? Now?
Yeah.
Or what has he fucked up in this?
There's some people confused about that. I'm like, clearly time has passed. He's in a different outfit.
Yeah. It's not the same day. It's not anything. Yeah. I don't know how they could be confused by that, but okay.
There's people are not bright at all.
So do you have any other things that you want to tackle on this real quick?
Just Danny Elfman. We touched on it briefly earlier, but music score in this, one of my favorites, honest to God. Like that dude does such great work. A little bit of, I got like 3 things of trivia here. Okay. This is the first movie where Benedict Cumberbatch actually grew a real goatee, and it's not just a paste on.
Nice. Which one?
All of them. Because of the edits, you can see Wong's hair change in many different cuts throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny, but for a patchwork movie, I felt like this came together very well.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I gotta remember that they did like shoot, and then they stopped, and then they shot more, and then they went back and reshot. So there's a lot of issues with it in that aspect. As far as like a full movie, I think it came out okay. I didn't walk out of the theater going like, oh my God, that was awesome, or this is going to change everything, or anything like that. I didn't walk out of the theater. I was just like, oh, it was okay.
Yeah. And
I know I've been shitting on some of the stuff too, but that's just because you can't like praise Marvel for everything, guys. Like there are issues.
Very
with
valid.
A lot of their stuff. Like, if as much as
nothing is perfect.
As much as people just want to shit on DC all the time, there's plenty of issues with Marvel stuff, especially I've been finding more. It might just be because I'm getting older, or I'm just getting tired of the same like layout of the things. So,
which this one definitely no one can say fits a mold.
No, it does not.
So my last little bit of trivia is apparently, and I don't know if this was a Feige thing to include or a Sam Raimi thing, but there's an anti-Chinese party newspaper during the fight with Gargantos in the very beginning.
Like the anti-Chinese government or something? Or?
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if they even realize I don't know if they realize it's in the movie or not, but I kind of feel like someone put it there, either a prop guy or someone put that there on purpose.
I don't think China's playing this movie anyway, so.
No, they refuse because of the 2 moms, which, whatever.
This is so stupid. It's like a 5-second scene.
Who cares? Honest to God.
Universe, we don't know. Maybe there are no men in that universe.
Yeah. We're not really needed in this universe. So. Yeah. So there's just some interesting stuff. Like,
for people who don't know too, like the character of America Chavez, she's from like a utopian planet. There might not be men. Like,
yeah.
If it's a utopia.
Oh. So I actually have another bit of trivia.
Okay.
I meant to say this earlier when you brought up that you felt like, we don't really dwell on a lot of stuff. We just kind of accept it and move on in this film. And it's because we've kind of been introduced to it in previous stuff. Well, one of the head writers actually came out and said that they were kind of inspired by Rick and Morty for this story, where it's like, in 20 minutes, something weird gets introduced and they just move on.
And they change it up.
They don't. Yeah. They're like, whatever, this happens now, accept it or don't. We're going to continue.
I could see that. They're very Rick and Morty aspect, especially when they meet the Illuminati, and then they all just get fucking killed in a gruesome way.
Mhm.
That's a very Rick and Morty thing to do.
I really enjoyed that there was not a clear good and bad guy in this film. I mean, Wanda obviously insane, but she's got motives.
No. I gotta disagree. She's clearly the bad person in this film because,
well, yes, her actions are bad, but what parent wouldn't do crazy shit for their
she's
kids?
Not a real fucking parent. They're not her kids.
In her mind, she is, dude. You got to get that.
So okay, so that's okay.
She's the madness.
If somebody thinks that, you know, this kid belongs to them, they can just go and take it from somebody's car and be like, "This is my kid." In my mind, it's my fucking kid.
Yes, they just fucking do that. I'm not saying it's good or not.
It's right. It doesn't mean that we should feel sympathy for them. They're still a child abductor, dude. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, she was fully gonna kill herself. As I mean, an alternate version of herself. It's like, what happens to their mother? Don't worry about it. But
she clearly didn't give a fuck about dads either, because she was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you. Your kids have a mom still? Cool."
But I mean, even all the good people you meet, they're like doing so. Like, they put Steven in chains with the Illuminati. Fucking Mordo tries to kill him while his team is being slaughtered instead of freeing him. Doctor Strange turns out to be a decent guy at the end, but it's questionable throughout the entire film. Like, is he going to be an asshole like every other version of him? Yeah. Wong, even at the end's like, just take her powers and kill her. Fuck it. It's not worth it.
Which, I mean, is that really going to stop anything? Because what would they do?
She's just going to try and kill Strange now.
Yeah, she'll just try and kill whoever takes the powers.
I guess it makes it harder for her to take because, you know, he's an experienced fighter, which I love that they actually show he knows how to fist fight as well in that fight with Mordo. Yeah, so there's a lot of gray in this film, and I appreciate it for that.
I guess. I don't know. There's many interpretations you could look at this at. One, I don't feel any sympathy for Wanda whatsoever, besides they fucking butcher their character in this movie after Wanda. And that's about it. That's it. That's as far as that goes.
I disagree. I felt like this was a natural progression from Westview.
I don't know. She didn't even care about looking for her brother or husband.
Her brother's dead.
Not in every universe.
No, but he's been dead for a long time to her.
Not that long. Not much longer than Vision. In canon universe, yeah. He died in Ultron.
Yeah, I think that was quite a few years from Infinity War, though. I'm gonna check that now.
You check.
But my thoughts are, I enjoyed this film. I thought it was a great continuation, like I said, of her stuff.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully they do America better and give her a little bit more justice later in whatever they put her in.
Yeah,
and, hopefully moving forward, whatever the hell they do with Wanda, if they bring her back or not, because I think they kind of left it open to do something if they decide to later, but you know, they just left it way too open. So they're like, okay, we can bring her back and pretend it was all part of our, you know, game plan the whole time to bring her back, or just not bring her back.
So Age of Ultron was 2015. Mm-hmm. Infinity War was 28, so about 3 years.
Yeah, that's not a long time.
Yeah.
For someone that you grew up with and lived with your entire life. You were enslaved with.
Maybe Boner made her not want her brother back.
All right.
I'm so curious what they're going to do with Agatha's TV show now.
Did she use the Darkhold to put Agatha in the trance?
I don't think so. I think that was just her mind fuckery.
Okay. As if so, I was gonna say that will break her out of her trance.
That's true. Man,
Or
I
if
wish.
they say that Wanda dying breaks everything she did.
But we know she's not dead. That's no way.
Yeah.
I'm so mad we have to wait a year for that show
The
because there's
Agatha
no
show?
way it's coming out this year.
No. We have
Now-
She-Hulk coming out and Miss Marvel coming out.
Yeah, that leaves one
And they're
late fall, early winter show, and I doubt it's going to be that.
they're just setting up so much stuff, and it's just like a lot in the last 2 years that I'm just like, what are we going to, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of dangling plot threads, and
A lot. And a lot of them
I'm
are
kind of
people, by the time we get to some of these, people are gonna forget what the hell happened.
more reason to rewatch them.
Like with Eternals, though, like, come on.
Yeah, who's going to rewatch that?
I would.
That was an all right film.
All right, so real quick before we jump on anything else or leave or whatever.
Yeah.
Ranking now, since we finished our road to Multiverse of Madness, where would you rank this with Doctor Strange 78, Doctor Strange 2016, Dr. Mordred 92, and the What If episode? So how are you doing your ranking? I think that's 5 total, so we have 5 of them now.
I think I would still, I can't remember what I said last time, but if my feelings haven't changed, the What If is still going to be number 1 for me because that's just a damn good story.
Okay.
Then I would probably go, I kind of want to go Multiverse of Madness, then 70 Mordred, and then 16 Strange.
Okay. I will go the What If episode. What if Doctor Strange had a heart or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
If you haven't seen this episode, just go watch that. You don't have to watch the whole season. It's just good.
Yeah. I'll go that. Dr. Mordred. I think I'm gonna change because I've been thinking about them. So what if Dr. Mordred 2016, 78, and then this one is going to be last, just because I didn't find any connection with it. It actually made me enjoy the first one better as a Doctor Strange film.
I'm curious to go back and rewatch that one to see how I feel.
I'm not used to Doctor Strange, multiverse jumping necessarily, I guess. So
yeah. I didn't notice any references to the 70 movie, and definitely not any Mordred.
No,
in this
reference nothing. They didn't do anything more than what they had to for some of the fans out there, dude. And that's what kind of disappointed me, was it just felt like this was a big, I don't want to say cash grab, but it was just like a big, like, hey, you remember that thing you like? We put it in here. Check it out. Like, come on, give us a Captain Carter live action show if you're gonna actually put Peggy in the fucking suit.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't agree with the fan thing, because while yes, I think this where it presented an opportunity to do that, they also needed fodder for
you could have put in characters just like Spider-Man did and killed off people that we actually cared about.
But no, don't do that. Not in this film. The fucking trivia. I just remembered knew that scene with the Illuminati, that fight scene. They were not in the same room at all.
Yeah, no, you could tell. It didn't look
really. I didn't.
Yeah, they shot all that shit individually. That's why they never did a full on everybody attack scene.
Yeah,
like they should have when you have a really powerful witch in there.
Well, to be fair, 2 of them died before the fight began.
Yeah. Dude, Black Bolt should have knew better than to scream in his own fucking head. What the hell?
I think he panicked.
He doesn't talk anyways. What does it matter if he doesn't have a mouth? He should have. I feel that was an insult to Black Bolt, but It was.
I think it was an
really
insult to the
cool.
TV show, which I maintain is not as bad as people say.
Oh, it is.
It's not.
But I would like to see Anson Mount return sometime as Black Bolt again in the future.
Yeah, when he's not busy with the Trek show, I still have yet to see, but hear nothing but good things about.
So I mean, he showed up in this while he was doing Star Trek, and he made a big impact in his brain.
It's very mind blowing. Yeah, I enjoy it. I think even if you don't like it, it gives enough, like just from the Sam Raimi-ness of it, that it's worth viewing at least once.
Oh yeah, definitely. And when you go view it, if you haven't watched it yet or you're going to rewatch it, definitely check out the scene where Captain Marvel gets her powers drained, because I really feel that's what is happening.
I'm definitely gonna have to keep an eye at that,
because I feel that's the only way you can explain her being crushed by a statue, is her powers just get drained away.
Yeah.
And that's what it felt like to me when I watched it. So that was really cool to see. It was cool to see the fight scene, but in the grand scheme of the multiverse, or grand calculus of the multiverse, I don't think that it was the best of what we could have gotten for a movie called Multiverse of Madness. So yeah, I'm interested to see where they move forward with multiverse stuff. We have Quantum coming up, and it would be really cool to see her doing her own show, jumping from universe to universe. Maybe we could do that and her find her parents within the show. Hopefully they're not stuck in the Paint universe. Otherwise, what the fuck? I mean, she could literally start the show off and end up jumping into an animated and do a whole animated episode. So
and we are only 6 films away from Phase 5.
6 films? That's so many. What's left?
Thor in 2 months.
Uh-huh.
Wakanda Forever, which I'm really afraid of what that movie is going to be with all the trouble it's had.
Yeah.
Quantumania, Guardians 3, The Marvels, and then Fantastic Four to cap everything off.
Holy shit. When are they going to be done with Phase 4 then?
Well, looks like it might be 2023. Because then Blade is Phase 5.
They're going to do 6 movies in the next year or 2?
Black Panther and Thor this year.
I have not even heard anything about Black Panther being released this year.
Yeah, it's set for fall.
All right.
I have the release date here.
Do you got anything else to say on Doctor Strange before we get going, dude?
It's like I said, I enjoyed it for what it was. It took everything I expected, threw it away, but I'm okay with that. I 100% okay with that.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people that are going to complain about the movie are going to hold it in their heads of what they thought the movie was. I mean, I'm guilty of it. Like, I thought it was going to be a lot different. So the movie was already up here in my head. And then when I watched it, it was kind of down a little further. So I was just like, but it's not a horrible movie. It's just an okay movie, especially for the MCU. There's a lot better films out there in the MCU. For sure, story wise and fan favorite shit. And I will always say, I think Spider-Man is probably one of the best iterations in the MCU of doing fan favorite stuff with a good story. I think that is one of the best ones that I've seen in a long time. So, all right.
And Black Panther is November 11th, but also don't forget, we have the Guardians holiday special this year.
Is that like the Star Wars holiday special thing like that?
I have no idea. They have said nothing.
Okay. All right. With that said, do you got anything else, man?
Do you want to talk about Moon Knight real quick? Because I feel like we
I guess
won't have a whole lot to say.
We could talk about Moon Knight real quick. I loved the episode before the last episode. I really thought it was a really good, deep episode. I know a lot of people on the internet did not care for that episode at all. I thought it was the best episode of the
That's
series.
shocking. Yeah, I agree.
It was the best episode of the series. I think it was one of the better stories we've had as far as like an origin type story
Yeah.
for a lot of our heroes, because it got a little deeper and stuff like that. And it was done in 50 minutes. Like, it was really good.
Yeah.
And then we come back with the next episode, and it was okay.
You know,
It was an okay finale.
people want to talk about a formula with the movies. I still have yet to find out what that formula is, but I am really noticing with the TV shows. They're going to have to change some stuff up here.
They rush the finale episode all the time. Except with Hawkeye. Hawkeye didn't rush it, I don't think.
No, I really enjoyed Hawkeye as a whole. With Moon Knight, I had a lot of fun with it, but after it was done, retroactively, like, oh, I wish they had done some stuff different, especially when they introduced the Asylum in the Mind. If they had been doing that from episode 1, I think it would have been a bigger mind fuck.
Yeah. I did like the tease though of the extra sarcophagus in the mind cell that was still closed, that wasn't open, to show the third personality.
Yes. Oh my! Don't even get me started on that.
I do, however, find it hard to. So the whole thing was those two personalities trying to balance out. What about the third personality? Did that not need to be there to balance the scale?
I thought that was going to be the reason they couldn't figure out the balance.
Me too. And that was a hashtag Me Too moment. I
don't know.
to miss his face. No, that was one of the moments where I was just like, they kind of missed opportunity there, but I think I know why they didn't do it, because they want to keep it a secret from the other two personalities at the moment.
Well, I mean, they have they said they have no plans for a season 2, but I clearly, like, to me, it feels like the director was doing that to try and get a season 2 similar to what Legends was doing there.
Oh, to leave it open at the end.
Yeah, like a Hail Mary. And like, I would be happy with the season 2. I'm not happy that we only got the final personality in a after credits scene.
Yeah.
And that's it. And we still got the fade out in the fucking finale. The final fight, he blacks out.
Yeah. And I'm curious how the girl that was there, how she didn't notice any of that.
Like, what's wrong with you? I didn't do this. Steven? No.
Yeah.
You guys don't think this is suspicious?
Maybe they think it's Khonshu possessing them, maybe somehow. I don't know.
It kind of is.
In a way.
I also like how the third personality is Spanish.
Yeah. I like how they're all different. It's a unique way, especially to get the actor to show his talents, for sure.
And if we do get a season 2, the fact that he was in a black suit gives away what his Moon Knight costume would look like. And I think it'll be awesome if we see it ever. I can't wait for this character to come back. Oscar Isaac is so talented.
It'd be interesting to see how he interacts with anybody else in the MCU too. So
just his ability to switch back and forth like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm very interested to see what they do with this character, if they do anything with him moving forward, because they might not. They might just leave it as that.
Yeah.
Open-ended, because hey, why not?
Yeah, well, he's definitely coming back. I feel like they might be building towards a Midnight Suns with Blade and Black Knight. And yet another really awesome villain killed off.
Yep.
Khonshu in a suit. Jackass. God, he's such an asshole. I loved it. He's basically if Batman became a ghost, but was even angrier.
Oh man. Yeah, it was an okay ending though. I would have liked something a little better, but it was okay. It wasn't horrible. I think
the only finales I really enjoyed were
Loki.
Loki, of course, WandaVision, and Hawkeye.
I got Hawkeye and Loki. WandaVision, I would need to watch it again because I'm kind of on the fence on that now, especially after watching Doctor Strange. I'm like, was it really warranted for what she did now? So
I just enjoyed the finally full out magic fight.
yeah.
Moon Knight. It has zero. It is definitely contained.
How the fuck was Doctor Strange not called in by the authorities to handle that?
This I feel like this post Endgame world is just more traumatic experiences because now we have a frozen statue coming out of the core of the earth in the ocean, and the fucking sky was all fucked up from Khonshu.
And there was a giant head in the sky one
time,
sucking people off the earth.
It's crazy. Like these poor people have to live in fear constantly.
I think watching it happening in live action as we're watching it and we discuss it in a live action aspect, it makes you think back to the comics. Like, how the fuck did any of this all work together?
How does anyone live in Gotham?
Like, there's no way, like, all this shit. How is all this stuff happening in New York when all the heroes live in New York? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
how are there any like low criminals in New York City? They should just not be there anymore. They should.
Where is Clark Gregg when you need him? Agent Coulson Bot, show up.
He needs to show up in one of these movies.
He needs to.
All right. So, anything else on Moon Knight?
Yeah, that's it. I thought it was a fun show, but as of right now, it's not one that I can say you need to watch for any particular reason.
Yeah. All right. So, with that said, Tivis, then I should say, to the audience first. If you want to contact us, you can find us on all social medias. And it's been a pretty long episode.
I know. I'm sorry. I know you got stuff to do.
Find us on all social medias at Operation Babble. That's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And then you can email us at operationbabble@outlook.com for anything that you want. Definitely add us if you disagree with me, because I know there's probably going to be a lot of people that disagree with my whole, it's for the fucking fans kind of.
I mean, well, you're not wrong, but I don't feel like it didn't have a purpose, is what I'm saying.
It had the purpose of being like, hey, here's for the fans. And then also, hey, fuck you, we're killing them.
Yeah. Which is why I wonder if John Krasinski's going to come back or not.
I honestly think it was like a test to see how people actually interact, like how people reacted to him in the suit, to see if people actually enjoy it. And then same thing with like a Captain Carter, to see if people actually want that shit, you know. I do love the fact that she's like, I can do this all day, and like 2 minutes later she's cut in half and dead.
Why would she throw? Oh my god, that's so stupid. Yeah, she's supposed to be smarter than Steve.
It did make me want to see another live action Rocketeer movie. I might watch Rocketeer tonight now that I'm thinking of it. The original. All right, man. Thank you guys all for listening to Operation Babble. Tivis, how did you enjoy today's episode, my man?
I really liked it.
Awesome. My quote today comes from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Imagine that.
And I hope everybody enjoyed Tivis's road to Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, I get it.
Let's pick hopefully we'll get him on some better names next time. So my quote comes from Professor Charles Xavier from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, also in the Illuminati. Also, did you know Tony Stark was trying to create the Illuminati in the MCU beforehand?
No, I'm just glad no Tom Cruise.
Apparently there is when he's on his phone trying to hijack the stuff in Iron Man 2, I want to say, there is a little icon that shows Illuminati on his phone. Like an organization that he was possibly trying to create or did create. So that would be interesting.
Also, no Namor.
Yeah, no Namor. All right, so sorry guys. Let's do this quote from Professor Charles Xavier in Doctor Strange of Multiverse of Madness. Just because someone stumbles and loses their way doesn't mean they're lost forever.
That was the best line in the film.
I think that was Disney telling us, hey, just because we're making crappy movies at the moment, don't worry, we'll make better ones.
Crappy movie. What?
All right, later, guys. Peace.
Bye.
You just finished another great episode of Operation Babble. You can catch every episode of Operation Babble on all your audio streaming services, including SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, and more. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Operation Babble, and join the conversation today by searching for the Operation Babble group on Facebook. Links also in the description. Thanks and have a great day.